Welcome to the session on data structures in Python. In this session, we will cover some of the basic data structures in Python like tuples, lists and dictionaries. Tuples are immutable data structures while lists and dictionaries are mutable data structures. In case of immutable data structures, we cannot edit them once they are created. And on the other hand, in case of mutable data structures, we can change the values, we can delete the values after once it is created. So let us see how these different data structures works in case of Python language. The first important aspect is tuples and lists are zero based data structures. So zero based means zero based indexing is used in case of tuples and list data structures. We can access the elements of tuples and lists starting from the index 0 just like arrays in other languages. And on the other hand, in tuples and list we can also access the elements in reverse order, and while accessing the elements in reverse order, index starts from -1. So the first example covers the first data structure, that is tuple. Tuples are immutable ordered sequence of items and we cannot assign any new value to the existing, and similarly we cannot delete an item also. So the statement here, fruits equals to apple, banana, mango, orange, guava. The different elements in the tuple are separated by comma. If the values are of numeric data type, then double quotes are not required, and if the tuple is consisted of different values which are of string data type, then in that case you need to enclose the values in double quotes. In the next statement, we are printing the value of the tuple by simply typing the name of the tuple, that is fruits. In order to distinguish between different data structures in Python, you need to remember the different kind of parentheses used. In case of tuple, while assigning the values, these all should be within the small parentheses, and in case of list, it should be between square brackets, and in case of dictionary, it should be between curly brackets. That we will see later on in the next example. So here in these statements, I have tried to just assign a new value to the tuple by typing the statement fruits within square brackets 1 equals to within double quotes grapes. But these lines are made comment here because if we will execute these statements, it will show us an error message. So let us see how the different elements in tuple can be accessed. So just like arrays, you need to give a index value in order to access the element in a tuple. So first of all, in this statement, we have tried to access the element at index 2 in the tuple, and for that we have extracted fruits within square brackets 2 and index starts from 0. It means the third element will be displayed. Similarly, if you want to extract range of values in a tuple, then the next syntax is to be followed. So in order to define the range of values, we need to make use of two values, starting index, colon, and then last index. The starting index is inclusive and the ending index is exclusive. Exclusive means you will have to stop one value before the last index. So like here we have written fruits within square brackets 2 colon and then space. So space means the last value or the ending value in the range we have not mentioned. You can also specify both the values like fruits within square brackets 2 colon 4. So it will start from the second index value and it will just go up to the third index value, skipping the last index value, that is 4. So it will extract all the values starting from the index 2 to the end of the list. In the next syntax, we have tried to extract all the values which are starting from the first value in the tuple and ending up to the second index. Like here. So before the colon, we have not mentioned anything. It is not given. So it means from the very starting element, beginning of the tuple, and colon and followed by 2 means up to the first index it will show the values. Similarly, we can access from first colon, 4 means starting from first index going up to third index. And as we have covered that it can be accessed in reverse order also. So within square brackets we have mentioned here -2. So -2 means from the last the second element will be displayed. So let us see after execution of this block of code what kind of output will come. Items in a tuple. So in the first line in the output, simply all the values in the tuple are displayed. Then item at index 2 is mango. We can see that 0, 1, 2. At index 2 mango is written. List of fruits starting from second item to the last of list. So second item here is mango and last of list is guava. All the elements are included in the third output statement. Similarly, you can see the output of rest of the statements also. Now let us move on to the next data structure, and this data structure is list data structure. List is very similar to tuple data structure, but in this case the elements can be added and elements can also be removed. That is why list is known as mutable data structure. In order to add elements into a list, various methods are available. The first method is list.append and within brackets element. So the element that you want to add into the list is going to be added as an argument in this method append. List.insert, within brackets we are mentioning index comma element. So this syntax is to be used when you want to add the element at a particular index value in the list. And the third syntax is list.extend. In this case we can extend the list by adding the elements from another list, like here we have mentioned within brackets list 2. So mention the number of elements in the first list and then add it to the another list. So the different ways are available and you can make use of that for modification of list. So let us see how to do that. First of all, let us create a list with the name FAM equals to, and within square brackets just like arrays specify all the values. Here we have taken collection of numeric values that are of floating point data type. And then in order to display all the elements we simply put the name of the list FAM in the print statement. Then move ahead, we will see that how similar to tuples all the items in this can be accessed. So the first syntax that we are using is range of values again as we did for the tuples FAM1 1 colon 3. So it will start from the first index and it will go up to the second index. So you can just check it out in the FAM1 list. The first index is having value 0.73 and this is second value and 1.68 is at the third. So it will just show us the index value 1 and index value 2 excluding third value. So the concept will remain same here. Similarly, you can specify nested list, that is list within a list. So FM2 is a list that we have created here, and in this you can see that within a list several sublists are available, like sublist 1 Liz, 1.73, Ema, 1.68 and Mom, 1.71. So similarly, you people can have a nested list also, and in order to access the element out of any of the sublist, you will have to make use of two index values. The first index value will represent the number of the sublist, and the second index value will represent the element number within the sublist. So just see the example given here in this print statement. Second element of second sublist in FAM2 list. So the syntax is very simple. You will have to write FAM2, that is the name of the list, within square brackets 2, that is the sublist 2, and then in the another square bracket we have written 1. It means within the second sublist the element at the first index value will be displayed. So you can see that FAM2 is a list given above. So if we will move on to the second sublist, it is mom comma 1.71. Mom is given at index 0, 1.71 is given at index 1. So it will just display 1.71. So similarly, you can try changing the element value by simply putting the index number. FAM1 is the name of the sublist, name of the list, within square brackets 1. It means at the index value 1 you want to replace the value with 0.80. Similarly, you can perform delete operation on list. DEL is the method, and within parenthesis you will have to put the name of the list, and within square brackets the particular index value that you want to delete. So the element at index value 2 will be deleted from the list. So the operations are very simple, but in case of tuple you cannot perform deletion and addition. Similarly, we can also extend a list. And in order to extend a list, you will have to run like this. FAM_ext is the variable name, equals to FAM1 plus, and within square brackets I have mentioned here Harry, comma 1.79. So the list FAM1 will be extended by this new item Harry, comma 1.79. So we have seen one more method for insertion in the list, that is insert method, and in this method the syntax is little bit different. You will have to put the index value along with the item to be inserted in the list. So just see the syntax. FAM is the name of the list, dot insert is the method, and then within brackets you will have to mention 2, that is index value, comma 2.3, that is the element to be added on the index value 2 in the list FAM. So in the next we have done append command, for which we have seen the syntax in the starting, fam.append 5. So it will simply add the element 5 at the end of the list. Append method always works at the end of the list. List 1 equals to 2.3, comma 4.5, comma 6.4. So I have declared here one list 1, and I want to extend my earlier existing list FAM by this new list. So the syntax for this is fam.extend, and within parentheses mention the new list to be added. So it will extend the FAM list. So the output for all these statements are shown here. Like the last statement that we have just seen, updated list after adding item from another list. Just the last statement in the output. So we will just go to the end of this and we will run it again. So you can see the output here, and in the last one we have just updated the list by extending it by another list, that is list 1, and in that there were 3 elements 2.3, 4.5 and 6.4. So these are added at the end of the list. So the third data structure that is most commonly used in Python is dictionary data structure, and it is also of mutable type. It provides a key value pair separated by colon. Values in dictionary are accessed by key values, and the key that you are going to specify within square brackets, accordingly the value corresponding to key will be displayed. no two keys should have same values. So in dictionary data structure, two keys cannot have the same value, and keys in a dictionary are immutable objects. Means once you have specified any key value, you cannot modify that, but you can add a new one in case if it doesn't exist in the data dictionary. Further, just like list, you can add the items, you can delete the items from the data dictionary. And dictionary items cannot be accessed using index. This point is different from tuple and list. So it is dissimilar with tuple and list in the manner that in data dictionary, everything is in the form of key and related value. So you cannot access any element mentioned in the dictionary with the help of index value. You can specify the key value and accordingly it will fetch. So it is not index based, or you can say rather than index, it is key based. So you need to specify the key in order to access the corresponding value. So let us see all these operations on data dictionary by using an example. So we have taken an example where different countries are mentioned along with a value that is of floating point data type. So world is the name of the dictionary, equals to within curly brackets. So you will have to remember that data dictionary is always created within curly brackets, and in tuples we were having small parentheses, and in list we used square brackets. So Afghanistan within double quotes is the key value, column 30.55 is the value corresponding to that, comma Albania colon 2.77, again the value corresponding to the key Albania. So in this manner you can create your dictionary by adding as many values you want. They all needs to be separated by comma. And in order to access your dictionary, you will have to mention which key value you want to access. So as we have written here, world within square brackets Albania. So if we will try to execute this command, it will just show us the value 2.77. So you need to mention the key and the corresponding value after colon is displayed. So in order to display the complete data dictionary, simply give the name of the dictionary rather than giving index value or the key value. Assigning to a key that doesn't exist. So in case if you are trying to assign a value, like here in this statement, world within square brackets India equals to 40.2. So as in the initially created data dictionary, India is not present. So what it will do, after execution of this statement, it will create a new item in the data dictionary with the name India, and corresponding value will be 40.2. So let's move on to the next, that is changing elements in a dictionary. So for this you will have to write name of the data dictionary within square brackets, the corresponding key value that you want to modify equals to some value, like 3.2 I have written here. So in the data dictionary given above, Africa is corresponding to 2.81. But after running this statement, world Africa equals to 3.2, it will modify the value stored there. And lastly, we are having deletion operation, and for this we are using delete operator here, delete del within small parenthesis the name of the data dictionary and square brackets Albania. So it means we are going to delete the item with the key value Albania in the data dictionary world. So we can see the result of all these statements. So at the end, the deletion operation we have performed. So you can see the result. In this we are having Afghanistan, Algeria, Africa, India. So there was one entry with the name Albania also, but right now it is deleted from the data dictionary. So in this manner, Python is having scope of storing the values as a sequence of values in the form of tuples, in the form of list and data dictionaries. Thank you.